Hello, can we take a moment? If you can see behind me, it is so beautiful right now. My name is Courtney.Speech, Courtney.Speech on social media. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, all of the above, including potentially Clapper pretty soon. I am here to show you 10 easy tips to increase your child's communication. These are things that you can do at home, super easy. We're gonna get started. A little bit about me really quick. I am a certified speech-language pathologist. I primarily have a lot of experience in multidisciplinary teams, including working with BCBAs in ABA therapy, music therapists, occupational therapists, physical therapists, feeding specialized therapists, which is usually an occupational or speech therapist, and teachers as special educators, paraprofessionals, etc. I love what I do and I'm here to share it with you. So let's get you started. I generally have worked with, before we go there, hold on. I have also worked in early intervention, which is your 0 to 3 age. That is what we are going to be talking about a little bit today as well. And I also have worked in a private clinic, which was anywhere from 0 to about 12 years old. And now I currently work in an autistic therapeutic day school. So for autistic individuals with high support needs and a completely collaborative and innovative team on their team, a lot of whom use AAC devices. All of the kids oftentimes use AAC devices, oftentimes are non-speaking or partially speaking. So I have a lot of experience with autism and AAC, and I'm so excited to be here. Let's get going. All right, so let's start here. A few things you need to know first. Non-speaking or partially speaking individuals, we use those terms instead of nonverbal, may benefit from augmentative and alternative communication. That is AAC. What is AAC? AAC is not just AAC devices or tablets or iPads with things on them. AAC is also your gestures, your facial expressions, sign language, any kind of visual pictures. It is honestly expansive and never ending. There's so many different forms of AAC. Just you making facial expressions at me like this is a form of AAC. But I am specifically talking about when starting early with AAC with hopefully a speech generating device, which is typically a high-tech device, high or mid-tech, meaning that there's a screen or a partially dynamic screen, or just a button that gives speech output. So this is for somebody who is non-speaking or is partially speaking and has, trouble communicating at specific times when they're experiencing stress or in an unknown or unfamiliar environment. So what we want to do with AAC is treat it as a separate language. Make sure that you are starting early with it and that you have buy-in. I need you to treat it like it's another language and that you are exposing your child to that nonstop and consistently. The best practice for that is you to have a version of their AAC with you at all times and for you to model in their language as well. That supports buy-in and it supports language growth. We really need to be modeling for the child to pick up new language. We're going to talk about that a little bit more here too. Number 2, educate yourself on Gestalt language processing or Gestalt language processing. If you're not familiar with that, I do have a course or handout in my community that you can access to learn more about it. And we also want to talk about starting early with speech therapy. The earlier, the better, honestly. Your child is not going to be hindered by starting therapies too early. I would honestly say that for any therapy that they could be exposed to. But early intervention is specific to the United States. Early intervention is something that is a thing here, but it also early intervention, intervening early, is really supportive for any type of disorder, any type of need for a child in their development. A child has the most neuroplasticity in their brain before they are 4 years old, meaning that they can learn a lot quicker and it can really support their overall language, their overall growth in life if we teach them during that time period. In the States, you can get a free evaluation and you don't even need a doctor referral. You can refer your child yourself in most states. And in most states, the therapy itself is also free, I think even if you don't have insurance in some states. So if you are in the United States, check that out. 0 to 3 years old, get your child in as early as possible. one thing that could happen is they can't get into the services, and then you you are on their wait list. They eventually get you back in to be evaluated, and maybe they get in then, or you just get a little bit more information about where your child's at and what to be on the lookout for. All right, so also starting once you start speech therapy, I want you to be involved. Being as involved as possible and taking this seriously is really, really important. As much as you can be there, the better. Specifically with 0 to 3-year-olds, when we do that therapy, specifically as a speech language pathologist or another early interventionist, like PT, OT, etc. A lot of it is parent coaching. So we need you to buy in, and we need you to be practicing the things that we are preaching throughout the day on your own time as well. That's how we make sure that the child learns the quickest, and that we make sure that they are, I guess, essentially moving as quickly forward as we possibly can have them move. All right, so let's get started. 10 tips that you can do at home. Let's go. Alrighty, so number one is narrating. Narration. Your biggest tip of the day is starting to narrate to your child. You can do this when your child is in the womb. Talking to your child is really, really important. Narrate your day. The first way you can do this is when you are hungry, when you are going to get some food. This is the example that I always use. When you're going to the kitchen, mommy's really hungry. I want to eat something. What do I want? You can do this even if your kid isn't like on your hip, or if they're just in the same room as you. Hearing the language around them can really support their language growth over time. So, I want some food. Let's open the fridge. Open. Banana. Oh no, it's not in here. Apple? No, I don't want apple. No, let's close it. Ooh, I want a banana. Take it off the shelf and open it. Yummy. Take a bite. That is narrating your day. You can do that all day long. You can do it during specific parts of your day. One thing that I recommend to a lot of parents is do it during your daily routines. Anytime that you're holding your child on your hip is a really good time to also do that. The second part is the sportscaster. So this is basically this is what many parents tell me they call it, is the sportscaster, which I think is so funny. You're essentially narrating your child's day, but you are becoming a sportscaster and saying, okay, Johnny is walking to the stairs. Now he is going up the stairs. Oh, down, down, down. He went down the stairs on his butt. Oh, he likes it. He's going up again. That is a sportscaster. Anytime you are just watching your child doing something, saying even 1 to 2 sentences about what they are doing and narrating it like that can expose them to more language, and it supports overall language growth. If applicable, if your child is an AAC user and they have a device or anything that they use for AAC, pictures, etc., you use it and you bring it everywhere. We want that language exposure to happen all the time, no matter where they are. To get you started, I recommend, again, using those simple daily routines. When you're folding laundry, bringing your child into those things. All of that can support your buy-in over time and then expose them to more and more language. Number 2, we are looking at using noises and gestures. So really, we want you to be animated. I want you to be very animated when you're talking to your child. Using specific noises and gestures, sounds or noises are oftentimes a child's first words, often. Some examples of this, achoo! Having a child imitate that. The most tried and true tool that I think us as speech language pathologists have in our belt is putting literally anything on our head and sneezing it off. Ah, ah, ah. Children love it. It's so funny to them. It's just great. And eventually they start imitating. Before a child imitates language, we need them to imitate movements. So them putting it on their head and sneezing it off, even if they don't do the sounds, is a step in the right direction when it comes to language and communication growth. That is one of the many things that they need to be able to do before they are imitating words. Uh-oh, again, using intonation is really, really big here. Yay! Animal noises count. I go to moo first because it is the most easily and developmentally created sound for a child. M is an early developing sound. So moo is a good option for them. Whoa, wow, boom. Make sure that you have, it doesn't have to be, but the best practice would be to use the same intonation every time. Get that buy-in and use those throughout the day. Anytime you do it, making sure, using your hands, using baby sign or ASL, American Sign Language, or any type of sign language can support their language growth as well. And that in some cases would count as a gesture. So supplementing, oh, let's go jump. Mommy, go sleep. Ooh, I want food. Those are all examples. Go is just pointing. Using those can really support. They increase to overall engagement. They increase the joint attention, which is something that specifically autistic individuals really usually have difficulty with when they are early in their development, if not for their entire lifespan. Imitation skills is increased as well because, like I said, gestures and movements are usually excuse me. Gestures and movements need to be imitated before we can expect a child to imitate words. All right, number 3, slow down. Many parents speak way too fast. If you are speaking at all at the rate of speech that I have right now, it is way too fast. Your child can only auditorily process at I don't have a specific number for you, but it's way less than you or I. They need time to be able to process what you're saying and time to then think about it and then imitate it. So the slower you talk to them, especially if they have no words, I want you talking like a sloth, really slow. You don't need to be go, but ready, set, go. That's how slow I want you talking to them. Using less words is also really big here, and I put that in with slowing down because when you're talking slower, it's harder to use as many words. I aim for about 1 to 5 word phrases for new talkers or for kids who are not talking. I try not to do over 5 words. Using parentheses is also a really big thing here, and it assists you in going very slow. Go, let's go, open. That intonation is what we call parentese or motherese. That is not baby talk. When we're talking about baby talk, that is the mispronunciation of words. Oh, the baby wants to go outside. That does not teach correct articulation. Oh, the baby, he wants to go outside. That's parentese. That increases engagement, and we know that based on research. All right, number 4, offering choices. Start with binary choices, y'all. I want you to pick up options for your child. Excuse me, I don't have good objects here, but paper or pen? Paper or pen? If they gesture to one, oh, here you go. Look at that last bullet point. Don't expect a response. Do not expect a response from your child. Using physical items is going to be your best bet. Offering it forward and bringing it closer and closer to them. We don't want to withhold. Say pen or paper. Say it. That's not going to support their language growth. That's only going to frustrate them. So we want you to, paper or pen. If they don't reach towards either, you can say no and just put them away. If they want one of them, they'll probably reach towards one of them. Oh, paper, paper. I want paper. Here you go. Then you hand it over. Using choices can teach your child language. If they reached for paper, we're not necessarily expecting them to say it, but we need them to know what in the world is paper. So if you are handing it to them and you're saying paper, paper, they're going to learn this is paper. They're going to learn a new vocabulary word receptively, meaning what they comprehend, what they understand in receptively. That's receptive language. It's not what they're expressing, but it's what they're understanding. Number 5 is verbal routines. So verbal routines add anticipation. They teach cause and effect as well. Some examples are ready, set, go. Open. That's one that I use. I've just put that intonation in there. I don't know where it came from. You can steal it and use it too. Open. Anytime you open a door, open a book, open a bin, open. And I pair it with the baby sign for that. Open. This is close. And then I go close. That intonation is a verbal routine. Up, up, up is also a verbal routine that I've created in my speech therapy sessions. Any toy that they like, up, 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 up. I've had so many kids imitate up, or up, because I said it probably thousands of times around them. Books or songs are also really supportive of this. Brown bear, what do you see? Then you're waiting. They know brown bear, what do you see? Because it's repetitive. That is a little bit higher language, but I would go, bear, what do you see? Or bear see. I would simplify it for a child who's not communicating yet. Washing hands song. I make a washing hands song with all my kids. Wash my hands. Wash my hands. I sing it every single time. That becomes a routine. Eventually, what I'm going to do is create a fill in the gap, a blank there. Wash my. If they don't say it, I'm just going to keep singing because what's the last line? We don't expect a response from them. Row, row your boat. Anything with intonation and songs is great here. It can also be something you create yourself, such as open, up, close. Ready, set, go is usually a really great first start. The idea here is that you eventually can add in some wait time, which we're going to talk about next, to help your child fill in the blanks for you after you've exposed them to this routine multiple times. So that brings me to number 6, wait time. Toddlers and babies process information much slower than you and I do. We need to not expect a response. Examples of this: ready, set, then look at them expectantly. I want you to wait. Sit there and wait until they respond. Asking questions. Is this a ball? Make sure you're waiting for them to respond. I honestly highly encourage you to not ask questions. I highly encourage you to use choices and just say what things are and label them for your child. But those verbal routines and bringing in wait time will allow the child to process and then say what they know to say. But know that kids oftentimes need 50 or more chances of hearing something before they learn it. Don't correct or model. I got ahead of myself. Some children need to hear something well over 50 times before they can repeat it. So if they're not filling in your blank, if they're not answering your question, don't sit there and wait. Say pen, say pen. I don't want you saying say at all. I want you to just say pen, pen. Here's pen, and hand it to them. It's a, if they don't say it, who cares? Pen, hand it to them. Repeat yourself and make those routines and then model what you expect to hear. Anytime that your child does not give you the answer that you are hoping for, you answer it for them and still act really excited so that they know that when things are said, it's exciting and fun. And don't expect a response from them. Number 8, the +1 rule. Add a word to what they say. So this is our best tip for expanding vocabulary and sentence length. Example, your child says go, you say go up. Your child says me up, me up. You say pick me up. You add one word to every phrase that they say. Number 9 is imitate your child. If your child is echolalic or they are a Gestalt language processor, that is okay. Imitating here is even more important because it validates that their language has meaning. This also teaches reciprocal communication and teaches your child like I say something, you say something, I say something, you say something. So imitating them, even when you have no idea what they're doing or if they're just making raspberries, you do that too. That starts to teach them. Like, hey, I'm here too. I'm a social communication partner for you. I'm going back and forth with you. That is a very important early skill. Number 10 is honor all communication. So whether your child is a Gestalt language processor, they use delayed echolalia, those two things go together. Or this still can, whether or not they're those things, this still teaches cause and effect, and it still teaches that their words have power. If your child is saying nonsense all day, you going, oh wow, cool, yeah, let's go outside. That teaches them that when they say things, it means something. There's a purpose here. And that's really, really, really important for autistic individuals, as well as any kid. Okay, and last but not least, we have a freebie for you guys. You can check out 20 tips that you can do at home PDF. So that is these 10 plus or minus plus 10, at least 10 more for you to cross off. I oftentimes have parents print this out and cross them off as they've practiced them. I usually tell parents to try it for a couple days, and then once you feel good about one, cross it off, try the next one. You could also go day by day, but that handout is in a PDF. You can check it out right on the store and download it for yourself. And number 2 is another free thing for you guys, how to help facilitate teamwork between your child's providers. This is something that's really important, especially if your child is starting with ABA therapy and they're not yet able to, or they're on wait lists to get into other therapies. You want to make sure that you have these things set up as early as possible so that your therapists communicate, just because we know that sometimes things can get a little wonky. All of our practices, all of our disciplines overlap. So if they overlap, sometimes we kind of can encroach on how each other are practicing and teaching things. This can be counterproductive for your child, so we want to make sure that we are all communicating and are on the same page as to how to best support your child. This is a quick about 10-minute training video that you guys can also grab on my store. Check it out now. I am Courtney.Speech, Speech-Language Pathologist, here to support you guys. Go check that out. Check out my community, etc. I appreciate you all being here, and have a wonderful day.